Karen.
And I'm Nancy.
And you're listening to our latest KidsmomoMO, where we give you Mo Kidsmomo.
This time we're reviewing the new movie Flipped, based on the book by Wendelin Mandranan.
When I first moved into the neighborhood, I felt like I was gonna lose my lunch. Being a new kid was the most cruel and unusual punishment ever invented.
Bryce, you're here! Hey, where's your girlfriend?
And that was just the beginning.
What's going on with you and Bryce Lasky?
What do you mean? Nothing.
Oh, okay.
One day I feel so happy.
But one day, I started getting this really weird feeling. Somewhere between confusion and absolute terror.
There's a bee in her hair.
There's no bee.
Are you freaking mental? Julie Baker, you hate her. Oh, that's what's so weird. I don't think I do.
She's quite a girl. Every once in a while, you find someone who's iridescent. And when you do, nothing will ever compare.
So should we start by talking about our awesome star sighting?
Yes! So what happened was when Karen and I went to see the movie on the opening night in New York City, Madeleine Carroll, the actress who plays Julie, was there, and it was really exciting, and she eventually watched the movie with us.
And of course, Nancy and I were like totally starstruck, and we waited for her to come down the escalator on the way down into the theater, and we were like, "Excuse me, are you in the movie?" We're like total dorks.
It was really fun to like be in the theater with her, although we weren't actually with her. She was
Right.
like sitting with her friends, and we were like by ourselves in our, non-famous crowd. But it was really fun to hear their reactions, and they were like
Yeah.
clapping and cheering for the movie.
Yeah, and I really liked how they were extra giggly at certain points. I very much enjoyed that. And I looked it up, and Madeleine Carroll actually lives in LA, and I guess she was just out in New York to promote the movie release. So it's actually pretty amazing that we got to meet her.
Yeah, it was like a great coincidence, and too bad we didn't get a photo with her.
I know. But let's not dwell on that.
Yeah, let's just move on to a real movie review.
Okay, so if you're a longtime Kidsmomo fan, then you know that Nancy and I both love this book. It was actually Nancy's pick for our romance theme, and I wrote a blog post a few weeks ago where I could barely contain my excitement about the upcoming movie.
And did it live up to your expectations?
Well, it was actually kind of different from what I expected. The book is told in alternating chapters, so there's one narrated by Bryce, and then there's one narrated by Julie, and then you get both sides of the story. And for some reason, I don't know why, it didn't occur to me that the movie would be like that too. I guess I just didn't really think about it that much, and I just assumed it would be like any other movie where you just see the action of the story in a more straightforward way. But they actually really followed the structure of the book with the contrasting viewpoints and even showing some of the scenes twice, once from Bryce's point of view and then one time from Julie's point of view.
Yeah, actually, that's what I would have expected the movie to be like, and I was really excited to see that they actually played it out that way. So it is a very, very faithful adaptation of the book. Although there was one scene I was really looking forward to at the very end, where there's like a little fight, but they didn't have it in the movie.
Oh.
So other than that, I really, really liked the movie, and it was literally like watching the book come to life.
Yeah, I think we can both agree. So that if you like the book, you'll like the movie.
Yeah, although I think I still like the book more because there are just a lot of details in the book that you understandably can't squish into the movie. So again, I recommend reading the book first.
Yeah.
Or after, I guess. But either way, read the book.
Yeah. I mean, I think I also like the book better than the movie, but let's face it, we're obviously obsessed with books, so it's rare that we'll ever like the movie version better than the original book. But there are definitely some aspects of the story that you can only really capture on film. Like, I really enjoyed how there was a little more humor to it because all of the funny facial expressions that were made by the actors playing the young Julie and the young Bryce, and you can't get those facial expressions when you're reading.
I also really liked seeing the movie interpretation of all the characters in the book, like the little characters. Not physically little, like smaller of importance characters.
Got it.
Like, for instance, I didn't picture Bryce's dad to look exactly like he looked in the movie,
Yeah, me
but
neither.
his character, like his actions and his tone and attitude are exactly spot on.
Shoot me now.
Just like Bryce's sister and his friend Garrett, or Shelley Stalls, who's like Julie's nemesis in the book.
Yeah, she did an excellent job. Actually, that kind of makes me think of one thing that I picked out as like the only big difference between the book and the movie. In the book, Julie's brothers are really edgy and intimidating and like the stereotypical rockers. But because the movie takes place in the 1950s and 60s, I guess we didn't mention that.
Yeah. That's really important, actually.
The book takes place in modern day, but they decided to set the movie in the 1950s and 60s. But pretty much the story is almost exactly the same. So since the movie takes place during that time frame, instead of having these like punk rock guys, they changed the brothers to be like doo-wop singers, I guess. So they're like harmonizing at the dinner table. And I found that to be really hilarious.
Do you think that was like your favorite moment in the movie?
No, actually, my favorite scene was where Bryce has the newspaper article about Julie in his binder at school, and his best friend Garrett sees it, and Bryce is like, "It's not what you think." Okay, it is. But I can explain. Okay, I can't. I think everyone in the theater kind of cracked up at that moment. What was your favorite part?
I don't think I have a specific favorite scene, but I really enjoyed like the actual flipped moments, like I had mentioned before. Especially when you see like Bryce's POV and then Julie's, especially the scene where like they first meet and you see like Julie's all moony-eyed and she's like in love and he's just like, ick, a girl, ew, like run away.
Yeah, I think everyone in the audience laughed at that moment too. I definitely remember hearing you like cackling next to me.
Cackling
Like
a witch.
I could tell you really, really enjoyed it. But anyway, I guess you give it a smiley face then.
Yeah, I would give this movie a smiley face. If you like the book, you'll definitely like the movie. What about you?
I give this movie a smiley face too. And I think I should add that your parents will also enjoy it. So it's a win for everyone.
So that's 2 smiley faces from us for the new film version of Flipped, based on the book by Wendelin Van Dranen.
Unfortunately, we should mention the movie is only playing in certain cities right now. So it's playing in New York, San Francisco, Chicago, Boston, Toronto, LA, Sacramento, and Austin. But the movie studio says that they're considering expanding to more cities if the film does well, so keep an eye out for news about that.
It'll eventually be on DVD too, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We also really like this site called flipmovie.org, which is an unofficial fan site for the movie. So it has like a lot of news on the film, including videos.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they'll tell everyone if it gets expanded to show in more cities. Also, Wendelin Van Dranen's blog is a really awesome place for behind-the-scenes looks at what's going on with the movie. And her blog is etrtr.blogspot.com. I'm not sure what that stands for.
Yeah, I recently found out that she's also a singer-songwriter, and she actually wrote a song dedicated, 2 songs dedicated to the movie.
Oh, cool. Thanks for tuning in for our KidsmomoMO.